Welcome to What Works for Us. You're watching Anita and Travis. And first, I want to say thank you for joining us to watch our show. What? What's wrong?
Could you turn off the umbrella?
Yes, I could totally turn off the umbrella. Excuse me.
Sir, I wasn't looking at this prior to starting.
Better?
Absolutely. All you kind of see. So,
Ooh.
those
Yes.
are... I don't think they can see those right now. All right. You start. I'm going to do some fixing. We didn't have this up before.
Excuse me. All right. So, I don't really have an icebreaker. But,
What does that mean?
well, normally I like to start off with, like, an icebreaker instead of just going right into our topic, and I talk about something. But I didn't have anything for today's topic. So I think we have enough content to cover a 30-minute podcast.
Oh, okay.
So we're just going to dive right in. And today's topic is dealing with conflict in our relationship.
You just keep doing your thing. I'm not happy with the camera settings right now. So I'm trying to mess with them a little bit.
Okay. All right. So, this past weekend, I think it started like maybe Wednesday. We it started Thursday. Yeah, started Thursday. It was Thursday. We kind of had a conflict within our relationship, and
Just so you know, we're going to keep talking. But I'm going to switch a couple things around. So it's going to change what's going on. But the mic will still be live.
okay, there's that disclaimer. But yes, this past Thursday we had a family conflict and then a relationship conflict. So I'll just tell it like how it started. I came home from Sorry, I got distracted. But I came home from the
Stop watching.
Well, I came home from the gym on Thursday evening, and I could tell that something was up because my daughter was a little bit teary-eyed. Travis was sitting on the sofa, and he was like all like quiet, and I'm like, hey, what's going on? And my daughter is like, Travis is giving the dog away.
Yes. And the reason for that is because I was very specific on what I needed to happen, and it wasn't happening.
Yeah. So immediately, me just coming through the door, I think went into attack mode because I was like, that's dumb. That's stupid. Why are you giving away the dog? I mean, I knew why he wanted to give away the dog, but we only had the dog for like 13 days exactly on Thursday. So
That looks better.
yeah, I wouldn't watch this. But anyways, that kind of started that, and then
Yeah. So I'll let you know because I think this was more my thing this week. Sometimes it's her, but I don't know. I just been a little stressed at work. We all get stressed at work, whether it be our own business, whether it be at a job that we have. I guess if you're not stressed at work, you either don't give a shit about the job or it's not pushing you to be a better person. Either way, I was a little stressed at work. I'm in a position where I have a little bit more responsibility. I wouldn't say responsibility. I'm in a position I wasn't necessarily trained for. It's in a position for the next higher rank than I am. But either way, I deal with what I got to deal with, and I'm learning and I'm growing, and it's making me a better person overall to have that experience under my belt. But it's stressful because I am trying to do the best as I can, and I don't personally feel that I am doing good enough. Either way, that's my work. several decisions were being made in the house without like my input or my like buy-in, like my agreeing to it. So it was kind of making me feel like I was the extra in the family. And a little bit more backstory on that specific piece is that in this household, as it currently stands, the two kids that live with us, Isis, Teed, and Osiris. I had to say Teed because I have my Isis.
Okay.
But those are both Anita's children from her previous marriage.
Mm-hmm.
And early on in our relationship, when we started talking about how we were gonna do the parenting, how we were communicating with people, communicating with our kids, is we were trying to ensure that we were doing right by our kids and the situation we were currently in. So I came up with, right? It was me.
Yes.
That
You came up with the rule. With the rule?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
If it has to deal with Anita's kids, Isis and Osiris,
Mm-hmm.
that she would have the final say on how anything went down with them, what they could have, what they couldn't have, any disciplinary actions. Anita would have the final say. Now, same thing on my end. When it comes to my kids, when they come for the summer, I have the final say on all that stuff, what they can and cannot have, disciplinary actions, the such.
Yeah.
I think it focuses more on disciplinary actions. I mean, I think that's always anything we like. Our disagreements will usually boil around disciplinary actions.
Yeah, and I think he came up with that rule because I don't think he likes the way that I discipline my kids, and vice versa. But it was like I almost feel like it was a way for you to have some sort of control. So it's like, it was like, well, he can't discipline my kids, so now he's like putting in place, hey, well, you got final say on your kids? Well, guess what? When my kids come in town, I got final say on my kids. That's how it felt like it was at the time, because it was so.
I don't think so.
No?
I think it was spawned from the fact that you didn't have a stable relationship with your ex-husband, and you articulated that you were worried like that if like I ended up like smacking Osiris upside the head or something, that her ex-husband could take her to court for child abuse, even though
that's not the case. But he's just giving an example.
Right. I'm just like, she didn't want her ex-husband to take her to court for something I might have done to the kids, and he'd be like, well, that's not a safe household, or that household's broken, or X, Y, and Z, and her kids get taken away from her.
Right.
And I respected that, so I came up with that as a way to solve that problem and make her feel more comfortable with me being, and this is at the very early stages of our relationship, right? We're still building that trust. We're still building that.
Yeah, we're not even married yet. We're like dating.
Yeah, but we're living in the same household.
Yeah.
So that's where that originally spawned from. So fast forward a couple of years to now, like
more than a couple of years.
Yeah, I would say that the amount of time I've now invested into the kids makes that rule seem a little old. Like I feel personally that I should have more buy-in when it comes to like what happens to the kids. I don't think I necessarily. I may go over the top with some of the things like.
Yeah.
Like Osiris be playing his games or something, and I'm just like, right, fuck it, I'm gonna just go smash the PlayStation 4. And then Anita's like, no, we're not doing that because I don't want you to have to buy a new one. And I'm like, I'm not gonna buy a new one. Solves the problem permanently. So
does it though? Does it really solve the problem?
Absolutely, I think so. But those are the kind of like issues we like when we have our differences in parenting style. Like I'm very extreme Like if we're gonna take something away, we're gonna fucking take that shit away.
Yeah.
Like there's no hopes to getting it back. You can build up, you can save money, you can go buy it yourself.
Yeah. And then obviously I'm a little bit different. And that's why I think I like the rule, and I don't want it to change, because I still don't agree with his parenting skills.
Technique.
Well, I would say.
Can you say technique? Because I feel skills like you're like, well, there's these kind of parents, and then there's these kind of parents, and I feel like you're putting me on that scale. Just say technique, and I mean, hey, if you're saying parenting skill, then say parenting skill, if that's what you mean.
No. Well, I lost my train of thought, but what I was.
So she meant skill.
No. What I was gonna say is I'm not like 100% disagreeing with his disciplinary actions, because there are like he even like amends some of the rules that I put in place for the kids. For example, I was taking Osiris games away from him when he failed his classes, and then he brought up a valid point, like, okay, well, what is that really solving? Is that getting him
because this is what I see, right? It's like, all right, here's Osiris. All right, let's take away the games. All right, let's give him back. Let's take away. Give him back. Take away. And it's like, so what is that doing? I mean, if this is where he at is without his games, just take them shits away and never give them back, and he'd stay there. But like this thing, Jesus.
Yeah, I guess I could see that.
Making me sick.
Okay. Well, then the one conflict I think that was huge on this Thursday that kind of started this, aside from the dog, was my daughter's turning 16 this year.
Nope, not doing it.
And she wants a party. She wants to be a princess at her party. And he is very 150% probably like against it.
I do not condone sweet 16s.
And I was like, well, we're
I
still
don't,
having it.
I don't mind a birthday party. I don't mind X, Y, and Z. I just don't condone the history and the meaning behind a sweet 16.
And that's fine. And I don't feel like he has the right to deny my daughter what she wants for her birthday.
So if your daughter wanted a 12-inch dildo for her birthday, would you buy it?
Oh my gosh. Are you serious?
Answer the question.
No, I'm not answering.
Oh.
I'm not answering the question.
So the other side of this is that she wants a sweet 16. It's like fucking women's their like chance to relive their fucking past life when they were young and beautiful.
Are you saying I'm not beautiful right
I said you're old and beautiful.
Okay, I'm old and beautiful. All right.
Older. I'll put older on the end of that. I apologize. Older and beautiful.
Thank you, I guess. Okay, so that I think that coupled with then him wanting to take the dog back, and I'm saying no to that as well, because
and she was telling me no, that I couldn't sell my car, my car. I couldn't sell it.
Okay, I gave valid reasons why he shouldn't have sold his car.
Does it matter?
Okay.
I gave you valid reasons why you shouldn't have a sweet 16.
True. But you could still sell the car. You're going to ask me for another car right after with the fact?
Are you going to ask me for another party after the fact?
What's your time frame, though? Of course I'm going to ask for another party within a year.
What's your time frame? It doesn't matter. Once I sell the car, I can't get it back. Like it's done.
Yeah, we know that, but I feel like you'll have this burning itch, this little desire.
That's called the STD.
Okay, that was really good. I caught that one. Okay, so yes, on top of that, I feel like he was definitely feeling like he didn't have a voice, and then like he went and like did some reflection. So like that night, like he was quiet and distant. I try to
So-
reel him into the conversation, and
Yeah. So when I'm dealing with stuff or I'm going through some type of emotion, and this is the thing, right? You got to know your spouse. Like I know when Anita today wasn't feeling like on her A game, and I was like, is that because of yesterday? And that was me yesterday. I was quiet. I was withdrawn. I got out of work at what, like 3:30. I didn't come home till like almost 8.
mm-hmm.
I
He didn't call. Like he didn't do things like he would normally do. Because normally he'd call and tell me like he's on his way home.
yeah. So I mean, I did some stuff. I went and washed my car. Finally, I washed the crap out of my car.
Yeah, I didn't even notice that it looks clean. I have to take a peek at it tomorrow.
And it still has a water dot, but that's not the.
Yes.
But and then I went and got my car appraised. You know, I don't know. Maybe it made me feel a little empowered that I at least went and got a trade-in value for it. And fuck those guys, by the way. Nope. Then I mean some other things, but at the end of the day, I got around, drove a little bit, did the things I wanted to do, and then came home because I ran out of things to do. And then came upstairs. Anita like cornered me in the bedroom, and we talked.
Yeah, because we have this thing where you don't go to bed angry at each other. So Thursday night, he was being all quiet, silent, or whatever, and I asked him. I was like, "Hey, are you mad?" Because now it's like 8:00. When I first came back home at 6:30, and he's mad, or I don't know the exact feeling, but being distant or being quiet.
I would say probably the closest term that I can get in my limited vocabulary is depressed. I was feeling depressed.
Okay. Yeah, I asked him if he was upset, because we're not supposed to go to bed upset at each other. And that night I was actually really exhausted, mostly because I played myself and went to bed late 2 nights in a row, waking up at 4:30, not working, right? So I definitely went to bed like 8:30, but I just wanted to make sure that he wasn't upset, because that's like one of our rules. And if he was upset, then we have to like kind of hash it out. And then I asked him if he was all right, and he was just like, he just wants to be left alone. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna respect his personal space. He needs some time alone. And I understand sometimes everybody like needs that time alone. So I was like, all right. Then Friday morning, Mr. Homeboy here got up, got ready, and left the house by 7:30. Mind you, he don't got to be at work till 9:30 a.m. I was like, okay. So now I actually started like getting upset, and then we could fast forward to when he came home. Then I asked him, hey, what's going on? Like, what's really going on? Because I know this doesn't really fit our rule, but of like going to bed mad at each other, but something is up, so we kind of have to go through this and resolve it.
Yeah. So I just want you to know we spent like almost 25 minutes backstorying this.
Oh, this must be a damn good story then.
So here's some things like I think it's beneficial to understand when your partner's off, to know when there's something up with them. And the other side of that is I think it's important to know when to approach him about it. I'm pretty sure if you approached me the first night about it, it might have been a different conversation. I can't really say if it would or would not have been. But the second night, I think I had enough time to work through some of these issues that I was ready to present them to you in order to provide your feedback. And I think one of the other things that I really thought you told me while we were talking, because Anita, we started getting emotional and some tears were shed, and
mostly my tears.
So and some peaks of yelling, not too many. I think we did pretty well on that for once. Mm-hmm. But Anita definitely said she made this about her and not about what I was feeling at that time. And I thought that was a pretty altruistic like move, because sometimes like you'll be arguing and or someone will be like they'll be feeling bad. I was feeling bad about the situation I was in, and I was telling Anita like, hey, this is how I feel, right? And some people could have took that as like very very like attacking at the person, and you did for a little bit, but then she realized she is making about herself and how she was feeling based on what I was feeling, and less about how I was feeling and how she could help me work through what it is I was feeling. And I thought that was very, very awesome to understand that and back away from that emotion to try to help me.
Yeah, because like he's exactly what he said. One thing, for example, was like he felt like he didn't have a say in the temperature of the house.
Yeah, temperature of the house. God damn it. So.
And me, I feel like I definitely went into defensive attack mode when he was really just trying to tell me how he was feeling, and so I had to take myself out of that and understand that, hey, this is an issue for him. Like, this is like how he feels, like why he's so passionate about it. Instead of me saying, well, I don't want to be cold in my own house, then, and it's instead of it interpreted as, because it was more than him having a say in the temperature in the house. It was like him having a say, period. And that's what he was trying to get across. So I feel it's important to try and remove yourself from the equation and try and actually actively listen to what your partner is saying.
Yeah, figure out what it is they're actually like. I gave the example of temperature in the house, right? Anita wanted a certain temperature. I wanted a certain temperature. Like, and we play cat and mouse with the goddamn temperature knob. Like, I'll find it on temperature. I'll turn it down to what it's supposed to be at. She'll turn it back up when and then like I was like so tired of playing that game. I was like, you know what? You just put it on whatever you want. But I was using that as an example of times in the recent past where I have felt I did not have a say in what was going on in the family or in the house. So I'm happy that she could realize that and again work through that. And then flip to today, like I am feeling a lot better. I've gotten this all off my chest. Like I'm still working through it. Like but Anita now is feeling a little low. Maybe because of some of the things we discussed might have been geared towards more how like I feel I've been treated at times. And on our way to a business meeting, we talking about it, and you can like how she felt, and I'll just keep just.
Oh, ready. Yeah, we were talking about it, and so basically, I'm in my head now because I'm a thinker. I'm for the most part, I'm always thinking about something. It's very, very rare that I'm just like absolutely got nothing in my head. And I feel like when I have nothing in my head, because even like when we were having our discussion on Friday, and he'd ask me, like, what am I thinking? And I say nothing. And I feel like that's because like I'm shutting off, right? So I literally do not have anything, no thoughts going through my head. But other than that, I'm usually like always thinking. So now I'm reflecting on everything that we talked about. And when I say everything, I'm talking like every single, it's like I have a friggin' vivid memory bank of word for word exactly what was said. And for some weird reason, and this was me getting in my head, it really did to me feel like I was like going back down the same road as from my previous relationship, which was a really bad divorce. And I remembered how it happened, and I just felt like that was it. Like that was the road that we were going down. And even though Travis already explained to me that that's not the road we're going down, we're trying to resolve this. That's that was just me being in my head. So I was trying to get out of my head, like trying to figure out, hey, like, because I've been divorced for a long time. Wow, this is 2020. I've been legally divorced for 12 years. 2008. That's right.
I mean, are you legally divorced until you remarry? Because
no, you're legally. When I say legally divorced, I mean legally divorced when you get those papers signed saying you're legally divorced. Because we were separated from 2 years prior to that, so technically we've been separated for 14 years, legally divorced for 12 years. So I was trying to figure out, like, why am I still allowing a previous relationship to affect me and now kind of come into our relationship now. And so that's why I was fighting really hard with myself to, like, get out of my head. So, like, every time I think about something that he said to that Travis said to me, I automatically reverted to something my previous ex-husband said to me at the time that we were getting that led up to our divorce. So, but anyway, I think that drive, I don't remember what it is that made me, like, eventually snap out of it, but I finally did. I don't know, because when we were talking
I don't know.
With the guy, and I don't recall exactly what it was, but I just, like, felt myself coming back into reality of our relationship now, instead of, like, living in the past and trying to compare.
So, and I mean, I think that's probably a solid point when, like, if you allow previous relationships, good or bad, affect your current relationship, then I don't think you're doing it right. And to talk about that just a little bit more precisely, you should be learning through every interaction you have, right? Good or bad. Mm-hmm. So a previous relationship, you should learn something from that. Mm-hmm. But you shouldn't take a person in a current relationship and compare them apples to apples from a previous relationship. I'm not her previous husband. We may have the exact same fight, but I am my own person, and she should understand that I might approach something different than her previous relationship. Or you might understand that the person you're currently with might approach something differently than the previous relationship, even if you two are currently in a similar situation than you and your previous partner were in. Mm-hmm. So, again, don't repeat the cycle by treating everyone the exact same. You treat every situation as it comes, and you weigh the different variables or the different personalities and the different traits from each of those people, while still learning from it's relationships are complicated, man. just like roll with it.
Yeah.
If you're willing to work on it, work on it. If, like, there's no more peanut butter in the pantry because your partner ate it and that's what breaks up the relationship, then must not have been a good one to begin with.
Yeah, that Travis brought up a great point. You definitely have to work at your marriage, like,
or relationship.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll say relationship because not everybody's married.
You got to work on your dating too.
Mm-hmm. Because I feel like people, this is my own opinion, that people have this assumption that, like, once you get married, it's like you're in, like, heaven. You're on cloud 9. Everything's gold and flowers and rainbows and everything smells good. And
I think it gets worse. I mean, when you're dating, man, it's like, oh, that was a great night. Now I can go home, and that person can go home. I mean, once you're married and you're living together, it's like, God, it's all the time.
Yeah, because I'm sure he could have gone somewhere, and he could have done a number of things. Like, this could have gone certain ways, because what I didn't mention is, even though he needed his time away from to himself, I'm here like, he didn't call me to tell me he's on his way home, and I'm like turning that into anger, and then it's like we have our alarm system, and I get a notification every time a vehicle passes by, my driveway, and I look at it and I was like, okay, still not home yet. 6:00. All right. Then it's like so, and then I'm fighting myself with these thoughts, and then at the same time, I'm trying to say, okay, well, just because he's acting like this doesn't mean that I'm gonna not continue to do our regular routine. So when I was on my way home, I did call him, and now he didn't answer. Now I don't know if that was on purpose, but of course, automatically in my head, I'm like, okay,
this mother.
Yeah, he automatically, didn't answer me or whatever. And then when it's like 7:00, he didn't call. I was gonna call him, but first I was like, let me go upstairs and get changed and wash my face and stuff like that. And then that's when I heard him pull up in the driveway, and then I was like, okay, came home. And like before that, I'm like running through all these different scenarios. Like if he comes in the morning, it's gonna be like, but I think it's really important to definitely get out of your head, because I could have definitely taken that to another level, and it didn't even need to be. Like we escalate things based off of no knowledge at all, actually, just based off of things in your mind.
Yes, we based off assumptions, mostly things in your mind. Now that being said, if you like all of a sudden there's an Instagram picture of you and your partner with another person, I mean, I guess that's Instagram drama at that point. I don't know. I don't get on the gram. But so just to recap, it's at the end of the day, it is a communication function to be able to talk to your partner when there is a disagreement. And I also think it's okay to give that person space when they need it. Now, I think in between Anita and myself, we are at a point in our relationship where regardless of how like bad I'm feeling or what I'm feeling, like I understand in the back of my mind, it is not okay to keep Anita in the dark forever. Like if I did this shit for a week, at that point it's on me. Mm-hmm. Like if I did not come home that night, I think that is now on me. Mm-hmm. Like there at some point in time, regardless of what you are feeling, you have to be able to confide in your partner.
Yes.
And able to hey, this is what's going on. And even if it's a damn like check-in, hey, this is what's going on, I need a little bit more time, and then I will come to you.
Yeah. And then another thing is that I even brought to him is actually he first suggested it, and he was like, do we need marriage counseling? And some people I feel like that might be a bad thing. I know I thought that initially with my previous marriage, because my ex-husband did come to me and talking about that actually he was like, I think we should go to marriage counseling. And I was like, marriage counseling? People go to marriage counseling because they're about to get a divorce. Are we about to get a divorce? We don't need marriage counseling.
Lo and behold.
I know, right? But that's not what marriage counseling is. Marriage counseling is to help you resolve whatever it is you're going through, so that you can stay married.
Sometimes you might need an unbiased mediator.
Mm-hmm. And it's not something where it's just you go to and it's you're there like like it's a team, and you hear someone not dialing in, but you want to hear that marriage counselor say, well, she's right, well, he's right. That's not what it's about. It's about working through the conflict.
For me, and this is just me, like I feel like they're a person, an overpaid psychiatrist that sits there and is like, so how does that make you feel? Like, well, you should know how it makes me feel. That's why we're here. But But there are paid professionals that do it way better. It's just my own interpretation of it.
Yeah. And I mean, even
seek help when help is needed.
Yes, definitely seek help. And then I do scroll through the gram, and I was reading that Barack Obama and Michelle Obama had gone through therapy, and then I even
that
brought
was
it
the
to
icebreaker.
Yeah, I didn't. We're getting an icebreaker on the end. Yeah, and then I came to him today, and because now I'm feeling in my feelings, so I was like, well, maybe we should go to therapy. Got you. All right. So
I said no, but I would say if you want to hear us talk more on this topic, because we're already 10 minutes over.
Yes, we are totally 10 minutes over.
So if you want to hear us talk more on this topic, we'd be more than happy. Just leave your comments or your specific question down in the comments below, and we will definitely get to them.
Yes.
Do we have time for a sponsor spot?
Yes, but before we go to our sponsor spot, I do want to point out that I am wearing one of our jewelry items that our daughter made. This is from Swan Creative Studio, and this is actually my favorite. Not because my husband bought it for me, but it was one of my favorites when I saw her made it. And
Make it?
Yes, I saw her make it. And I specifically said, if you're going to buy me one, buy me this one. But
can they see it from there? Because now I feel like if you get up and get closer to the camera, you're just going to be putting your boobs in the camera.
And we're not doing that.
Okay.
Yeah, so let's go to our sponsor spot.
Okay. So, if you guys didn't know, we at Swan Creative we at What Works for Us,
yes.
Anita and myself, are self-sponsored.
Yeah.
And we have a business called Swan Creative Studio. If you look at that bright red logo, it's amazing. But if you want to figure out what we do and where we are at, then you can come to our Facebook page at Swan Creative Studio. You can also go to our Instagram page and see some of the beautiful pieces. Here's an up-close picture of that piece that Anita was just talking about that's around her neck right now. Very amazing metallic. Even though it looks like it's textured, that is silky smooth. We get that texture on the inside, and then it's clear all the way over top. And if you want to figure out what we are currently up to or some of the events that we have going on, you can come to swancreativestudio.com, where you can see our website and all the things about who we are, what we can do for you, and most importantly, some of our upcoming events. I want to point out that we will be at the Asami Show. It's the Central Texas Arts and Crafts Show at the Bell County Expo Center on Saturday, March 21st and Sunday, March 22nd. We will have all of our jewelry on display, a couple furniture pieces, smaller furniture pieces that I've been working on lately, and you'll see sample boards and live epoxy pours to see how it is we create these amazing works of art. And then I want to show you guys specifically some of the pieces that I've actually been working on. So if you're more for dark tones, I have this amazing piece that I've created. This will be at the show. This will show you a lot of how we can create these very fine, detailed, misted looks, or if you're more into like a granite type texture, I can build these, or I'm gonna be pouring one of these. If you are more into the light toned marble, I have created this piece, which is a Carrara marble type look with some, I put some copper metallic veins in there that really give that texture. If these are things that you can see that you want your countertop, your vanity, a shower stall, or anything like that built, we can you can give us a call or reach out to us on any one of our social media or website platforms, and we will see what we can do for you, because we will make it happen together.
Look at you putting our logo out there. Can I have a seat with you?
Yeah.
So, all right. So I think that sums it up. Thank you for watching. Make sure you hit subscribe And make sure you click that bell that's next to the subscribe button so that you can get a notification every time that we are on. And then we'll see you next Sunday at 7:30 Central Standard Time. Okay? Thank you for watching. Talk to you later. Bye.